Nick Celsius Dio was our first runner on Saturday, and ran as we hoped really, and doing all his best work at the end of the race, staying on well, having just made a mistake halfway down the back at the open ditch, but that it was a really promising return to the race course for the start of his season, and sets him up nicely for some better races to come, hopefully in November, possibly back at Cheltenham or even at Ascot at the end of the month. Grosvenor Harry was our other runner at Cheltenham on Saturday. His season hadn't gone to plan at all last year, so we were really thrilled with his return to the racecourse, finishing fourth and qualifying for the Thames final next March, albeit we're very keen to go back over fences with him. It was a great starting point, having been not himself last season. So we were caught slightly wider than Johnny really wanted to be, but it was a nice confidence boosting run, and he can build on that. It's just a shame the rain didn't arrive an hour earlier for him. So Metier was our other runner at the weekend, over at Paris Longchamp in the Group 1 pre-Royal Oak. It didn't quite go as planned. He wasn't quite himself. Safi felt he was just a little bit flat, didn't give his true running, but it didn't matter. The winner was very impressive, the 3-year-old, and wouldn't matter what sort of form we turned up. I don't think we'd have beaten him whatever happened, but we tried him up in grade. It didn't quite happen for us, but we'll get him home and look forward to making a new plan for him, possibly back over hurdles over the coming winter months. This week we start out at Chepstow on Tuesday. We've got 3 runners, including Beat the Bat in the opening division of the maiden hurdle. He was a course bumper winner. We can forgive his run in a grade 2 bumper at Aintree, where he got jumped into at the start and ran 2-3. He was just looked after that day. He schools particularly well, and we're really looking forward to seeing him get his hurdling career underway. That will be followed by Hymac running in the handicap 2.5 mile handicap chase. We haven't seen him since finishing runner-up on Welsh National Day at the course last December. Just little niggles kept him off the racetrack, but he's in really good form. We've always thought of him as a chaser. He scored really nicely, so hoping that he can translate that to the track and make the most of what we feel is a competitive mark. And to round the day off, we've got a nice horse starting out in the bumper on his racecourse debut, a 4-year-old gelding called Capoust by Capguard. Obviously, there's plenty of unraced horses in the field, so lots of unknowns, but we're happy with what he shows us at home, and hopefully he can make a promising start on the racecourse. And then on Wednesday, we have Arnell making the long journey to Fakenham, and she's making a handicap debut, having run in a couple of mares novice hurdles. So the step up in trip should suit her. Obviously, Fakenham's quite a tight track, but I think it should play to her strengths. She's quite a free-going mare, so the step up in trip would definitely help. And we hope that she can be competitive in handicap company for the first time. Bloody hard work. No, it was obviously a great education, and very lucky to spend time in Ditchit working for Paul and learning from him and all of his team. So I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today if it wasn't for those years gaining all that experience. So very grateful for the opportunity to have worked for him. So it's an interesting question in terms of what we've taken, what I've learned from working from Paul, and what we've translated to our routine, or what we've adapted to ourselves. So I think obviously every gallop, every training centre or yard has got slightly different facilities. So we just try and keep things as simple as possible, and feed the horses well, and do the work that's required. But I suppose that's the real difference, is that we've got slightly different gallops, and so we work them best to suit ourselves. So I think one of the most important skills to learn lots of important things to have taken from my time with Paul, but particularly race planning. and putting the horses in the right races where they can be competitive. It's all very well doing all the hard work at home and having them fit and well and healthy if you're not running them where they can be competitive. So I think that was one of the big things I took away is trying to place the horses to best effect. So I think Davy Russell's comments last week about transferable skills for when riding careers come to an end or careers in racing come to an end was hugely significant and very valid. All for young people getting as much experience as possible, and not just in the workplace in racing, but away from racing. And I think particularly true of the jockeys who obviously can only ride for so long. They're obviously fitter and healthier these days, and their careers do go on much longer. But there still always comes a time for every jockey. And I think there's some fantastic points that Davey made, and particularly in the fact that it just keeps people occupied when there's idle moments, whether it's a jockey's injured or it's quieter months over the summer, for example. But I think that translates to young members of staff in working in racing full stop. The more that they can learn is the better they're set up for life in the future. So I thought it was some great points that he made. A bit of both. The jockeys have got to take it upon themselves to make the most of the opportunities that are there, and there are the opportunities. There are training schemes in place, and it's trying to. I think racing can then support further those ambitions. So it's a combination of both racing and jockeys and people working in racing, demonstrating ambition and wanting to learn new skills and working together for the better of all involved. So I think trainers can contribute by encouraging their jockeys and members of staff to take part and make the most of the opportunities that can be that are available. We work hard to make sure that our staff members are feeling that they can gain skills and develop themselves further, not just, as I said, not just within racing, but we want to encourage them to take the opportunities. So again, it comes down to the employer and the employee working together and understanding what their ambitions are and working to achieve those.